On our first date, she asked why I never laughed at her jokes. I told her it would feel fake. She walked out. Why is it that deep thinkers get ghosted, not roses? From a young age, we're told that being smart, honest, and self-aware makes you more attractive. But for some men, the deeper they think, the lonelier they become. They notice what others overlook. They ask questions that make people shift in their seats. And worst of all, they can't pretend. They can't play dumb. They can't blend in. It's not that they're cold. They just struggle with small talk, forced smiles, and shallow connections. They crave something real. But real is rare. And the deeper they dive, the fewer people follow. So why does depth repel instead of attract? Why are intelligent, introspective men so often left unseen, untouched, unwanted? Why does wisdom, so praised in theory, feel like a curse in practice? This isn't just about relationships. It's about a deeper, darker truth. What makes you conscious may also make you unlovable. Let's explore that. Through the mind of Søren Kierkegaard, one of the loneliest geniuses history forgot to understand. Society loves predictability. People feel safe around those who follow the script. Smile politely. Say what's expected. Don't think too much. But the intelligent man doesn't follow scripts. He questions them. He doesn't flirt with lines. He questions the point of flirting. He doesn't chase trends. He watches the crowd and wonders why they run. To most people, this isn't intriguing, it's threatening. Because if you can't be easily categorized, you can't be easily controlled. And in a world addicted to conformity, the conscious man becomes a danger. Not because he's loud, but because he's awake. He breaks social norms not with rebellion, but with reflection. He refuses to play games, which makes him unreadable, unpredictable, unfamiliar. And unfamiliar, to many, feels unsafe. Especially to women raised in a world where emotional safety is currency. He sees through manipulation. He doesn't react to tactics. He's immune to charm. He doesn't act like other men. So he doesn't feel like other men. And that difference, however quiet, triggers something primal. He's different. You don't know what he's capable of. So they walk away. Not because he's wrong, but because he's too right, too awake, too deep. In Kierkegaard's time, such a man wasn't celebrated. He was mocked, shunned, forgotten. And in today's world, not much has changed. Why do women, in particular, feel this discomfort more intensely? The answer lies not in misogyny, but in evolution, in biology, in a need that intelligence quietly threatens. Modern relationships are built on ease. Quick replies, mutual flattery, effortless affection. Love has become convenience, not connection. But the conscious man is built for truth, not dopamine. He doesn't want a partner. He wants a mirror to his soul. While most people are seduced by appearance, he sees through it. He can sense the emotional masks, the subtle manipulations, even the performance of vulnerability. And that makes things hard. Because today, love thrives on illusion. The illusion of perfect compatibility. The illusion of constant happiness. The illusion that love should never hurt. But for the conscious man, love that avoids discomfort isn't love. It's denial. He doesn't want romance as escape. He wants love as awakening. He wants connection without control. And in a world of surface-level affection, his clarity feels like a threat. He doesn't chase. He doesn't play. He simply sees. And when he sees you, really sees you, you can't go back to being unseen again. That's his gift. And his curse. Because the more aware he becomes, the harder it is to find someone who won't flinch under the weight of that awareness. And yet, he doesn't dim the light. He doesn't play small, even if it means walking alone. But maybe his solitude isn't a flaw. Maybe it's a form of freedom. Most people crave belonging, so they mimic, they echo, they blend. But Kierkegaard saw this as the crowd. And the crowd, he said, is untruth. Because the crowd doesn't think. It reacts. It doesn't seek meaning. It obeys comfort. The conscious man doesn't dissolve into that blur. He remembers himself. And that makes him dangerous. He forces people to see the masks they're wearing, to hear the noise they've mistaken for thought, to feel the emptiness they've been numbing. So they label him difficult, too intense, too serious. But what they really mean is, you make me confront parts of myself I'm not ready to face. While others chase approval, he chases authenticity. He'd rather be alone in truth than surrounded in illusion. And in a world addicted to echo chambers, the man who only listens to his own soul becomes a threat. Not because he's cruel, but because he's free. It's not intelligence that women fear. It's what comes with it. The intelligent man doesn't need you. He wants to be understood, not worshipped. He doesn't fall for charm. He's not moved by games. He doesn't need attention. He needs truth. And in a world where love is often about control, he's impossible to control. He doesn't perform. He doesn't pursue. He disappears when things feel fake. Not to punish you, but to protect himself. He's not mysterious because he plays games. He's mysterious because he refuses to become someone he's not. And that makes him unreadable. Not because he's complicated, but because he's real. And real is rare. So when a woman says, "He intimidates me," what she often means is, he doesn't respond to the rules I'm used to winning with. Kierkegaard called this despair, not a loud, visible kind, but a quiet, internal rot, a death of the self. Most intelligent men aren't in pain because they're broken. They're in pain because they've been taught to betray themselves, to play nice, to smile, to obey, to fit in, and slowly, they forget who they are. That's the tragedy. Not being unloved, but being unseen, even by themselves. Modern dating isn't about connection anymore. It's curation, performance, strategy. Be desirable, be convenient, be safe. But the conscious man won't be curated. He doesn't chase trends. He doesn't follow scripts. He doesn't care about leverage. Because he isn't looking for power. He's looking for presence. And that makes him dangerous to a culture that fears being real. At the heart of Kierkegaard's philosophy is the idea of the leap. Not into certainty, but into faith. Not religious faith, but the faith it takes to become yourself. To live without masks. To abandon what's false. To walk alone if you must. Not because you want to, but because meaning has a price. He called it the night of faith. The one who detaches from the crowd and listens only to the whisper of his own soul. The intelligent man is not too much. He's just too awake to pretend he's asleep. And that terrifies people, because his leap exposes how few are willing to leap at all. There is a hidden cost to waking up, but there's a greater cost to living asleep. And in the silence of his solitude, the conscious man knows he did not lose the world. He simply chose not to be owned by it.